got 20 cars in tow at Richville heading in towards Harger. Richville heading in towards Harger. She's the lead unit, number 202 at Jeep-38, is facing the other direction right behind her. As you can hear, she's running very good. She looks good. There she is in her element, at the head end of a tree. Listen to her purr. We'll just listen to her. The engineer, John Pryor, says it's a smooth running engine. The horns, you have to notice the difference riding in the cab of each locomotive. The 202 is a much heavier locomotive, 133 tons versus 125 tons, 4428. However, the 28 loads up, switches a little faster because of the pneumatic relays versus the electric relays in the 202. Cars in tow, but she could haul more. 1,750 horsepower versus 2,000 horsepower. And she is running, thankfully, long in forward the way she's supposed to. And, just sit and I'll catch her from the other side when we get a longer look at her trip. There she is. It's a Richville elevator. Right behind her. Classic shot. You can see 4428 right behind her, 202 GP-9. Notice the difference in sizes of the two locomotives. The GP-38 number 202 is it's a little taller, a little longer, a little wider, and it is definitely heavier, as I said earlier. Here's her train, 22 cars. We will be fortunate enough to catch her again in the actual movement. I'll be in the locomotive, so I won't be able to catch her taking off, but I will be on the ground when she's over in Carroll, and we will catch some moves with her actually coming in as a train, coming into the picture, and into the picture. Occasionally you see a little puff of smoke from the exhaust as she responds, running an MU with the other locomotive. I was sitting in the cab of the other locomotive and I'd look back once in a while. I'd look back when John would open the throttle on the 202, and of course I'd look back right away, and sure enough I'd see just a little puff of smoke, a little spurt of smoke as the engine revved up and caught on, which is common in most locomotives. This is probably her classic picture, in her classic position, running long in first. She's supposed to. She's got a partner. She's got a revenue hauling grain. She has a revenue producing train in tow, and that's the way it should be in the world. That's the way she's doing her thing, and it's just the way it should be. She's sitting right in front of this huge grain elevator in Richville, which is a major shipper of grain trains. And of course, the reason for being for the whole operation is this very rich country through here. Some of the richest farmland in the country, in the United States. Reason for being for the railroad. And indirectly right now, the reason for being is so that the 4428 is actually working. And she's working quite well. The cab is a tad drafty without its heater, but that will be remedied soon. But the Rotex valve that controls the air brake is starting to work more freely now. They keep batting it back and forth. Tom bats it with the air brake handle, takes the air brake handle off and bats the Rotex valve with it. little bit, knocks a little bit now, and she seems to move quite a bit freer. So I think that she's used, we'll hope that she's used all winter long. So the more she's used, really, the more limber she's going to become. John first took it, he said he couldn't load up over 300 amps there for a few miles because she was so stiff. But after a while, after a few hours of running, she was loading right up full throttle. And of course, when one of the heater cores broke, when that one heater broke and spread water all over the place. And then also when the hose came off, the jumper hose came off, connecting the outlet and the inlet, and it sprayed water all over the place. John seems to think that some of the water got into something and slowed it down. But she's dry now. She's loading full amperage and working quite well with it. Just let the scene sink in a bit. Listen to her sound. She has a distinctly different sound from the 202. It's a smoother sound, really. There's something down to it. The rolling chant, peculiar to a 567 engine, is more pronounced in our locomotive than it is in the 202, even though the engines are very similar. Although I believe the engine in the 202 is a 645D engine. It's a larger engine than the engine in the GP-9 and our GP-9, which is a 567C engine. And that might be, and there's a little difference in the mufflers too. The muffling system, the exhaust system, so it accounts for the smoother rolling gait of our locomotive as versus the somewhat choppier chant that the 202 has. I've been listening to both of them on the road, and it seems to know the two that John mentioned it first, and then I agreed afterwards, and I listened to both of the 202. That really, and we're not patting our own back, but the 4428 has the more distinct, I would say, EMB sound, the chant, the rolling chant of the 567 two-stroke, the typical GM two-stroke engine. Well, my hands are getting cold. It's damp out here. I'll take one more sweep across the train, and we'll go back inside. John and Matt, his partner, are inside having a cup of coffee. Maybe in time I might be able to come back and join them. Definitely, it's over here. Just look. If you want to see a classic picture, and I do mean classic, just feast your eyes on this. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. Big elevator. Our locomotive. Whoever would have guessed it? 2 years ago at this time, whoever would have guessed it? sound. The 202 here with the bigger engine. Mufflers and everything. See the jumper cable doing 4428 to the 202. One of the success stories of the diesel locomotive was this cord. This 26-pin cable, which allowed multiple unit operation of diesel locomotives, whereby one engineer, one operator can control up to any number of units behind him just by this 26-pin jumper cable. See an island water restaurant right there, just like one on either side. It's going to be very mandated requirement on all locomotives. And I'm sure if 4428 stays in service, which it looks like she will, she's going to line up for the set of loose lights here. Train heading into Vassar. 4428 and the 202 are the disconnect. Come back up this track right here. Connect back on the train again for the run out to Carroll. This is the train that's going out to Carroll. Those are all the cars going to Michigan Sugar. There she's running around her train here. You can hear her horn.
Film it all the way up here. Herb.
That's what I'm doing. Got the whole dang thing.
I'm gonna light up on you, little girl. I'm gonna talk to the. When the guys come out of the shop.
You gonna talk to him, Herb?
Get on behind that switch.
That is something to see that thing run.
Boy, that track is low there, isn't it?
It dips right down.
Going through your first battery yet?
No, not yet. See this scope light working on it? our train. I sacrificed my spot in the cab to Mike Keenan, who's got a grin from ear to ear. We'll get a chance to ride on her back into town again. She's coming now. Stopping for the switch. Throw the switch to go out to Carroll Road. Coming directly on.
Stand back, Joe. You're gonna stay over there? Yeah. Looks like they did some ballasting along here, but they haven't did any camping. What do you do? Stop?
No, he's just going slow. That headlight in the fog is 4428. Running very slow. They got slow orders on this track. Yeah, you can. In fact, here's a washout right here in front of us, right there. That's what they just had to fix. Probably from that ditch. That ditch overflowed probably and washed out the track right there.
Yeah,
So,
this has just been put back into service, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it has. So 4428 is making its way towards us. Spectacular effect coming out of the fog. Switching in Carroll Yard.
They must use it, Herb.
Hey, Mike's hanging out the window right there. Tell him. He's got to. Where is that Mike? That might not be Mike.
Yeah.
Tell him you're riding back. Tell him to tell John you're riding back, if possible.
When you guys get down at the plant, you're coming back here, or you're coming down. You better run down there. Appreciate it. Come back.
Going into the sugar plant now, which is off limits, of course. And he's backing into the sugar plant, do some switching. He should come back out this way. He has to come back out this way. He'll come back out on the way back.
Switching. You don't want to be
Two on the other end now. The locomotive is reverse course and came down the side track, and he is going to go around his train, and 202 will lead the train back. Notice the difference in the horns. Going on that end of the train now, and then we'll lose her until we get back to Vassar. We'll try and get some pictures of the train, but 4428 will be in trail.
Oh, she's running like a bird. Going back.
Yeah. Moisture's getting on the lenses. Get too much more picture taken over.